I want to begin with a very simple definition of what a school ought to aim at, and then specify how a Catholic school is needed to fulfill that. I think that at the end of a young person's educational experience, they should have a fairly clear idea of what it means to be a human person made in the image and likeness of God. I think that is a fundamental aspect of education. It means that in specific terms, it is a human person who understands that truly to be a full human person is to be part of a community. That they are called to not only be part of that community, but to contribute to it. It is a call to live in this world in an honorable and noble way, to offer a contribution, but to understand not only where they are, but why we are here and where we're going. What is the goal of our life? What is it that creates a life that is worthy of the dignity of the human person? And I think that really is the basis of all education. But I often say, why don't we begin with understanding the dignity of the human person? And understanding it in that fashion, we ask ourselves, what is it that we need to offer our young people in order to achieve this sense of their dignity and to allow them to grow into mature human persons? Obviously, we are very happy about the academic successes of Catholic schools. In fact, just this afternoon I was glancing through a journal that I get, and it was talking about the report that just came out from the Department of Education in Washington about the levels of understanding in math and in reading at the 5th grade and the 8th grade, and I think at the 12th grade as well. And they noticed that there is a rather interesting gap between what they first called private education and public education. It's a gap of 19 points in favor of the private school. Actually, though, when they filter out the Catholic schools, it is a 20-point spread. And of course, unlike some of the private schools, Catholic schools take everyone who comes. It's a marvelous achievement. But that academic success is not the first reason why the Catholic Church has been involved in education from the very beginning. And at the heart of a Catholic education is a sense of the wholeness of the human person. That the human person that is being educated cannot be segmented. That is, the school cannot be concerned only with one aspect of that development. That the human person has an emotional and psychological component as well as a mental component. There is a spiritual reality that must be touched upon. And therefore, at the heart of a Catholic education is the principle of integration. Now, obviously, as we go through our schooling, and as I remember from my own, we took various courses. And to be honest with you, sometimes I didn't quite understand the connection between what was going on in one class and what was going on in the other. But in fact, Catholic education is based upon a belief that in all of the various aspects of human endeavor, of academic work, of pursuing particular fields of knowledge, there are very clearly ways in which you learn mathematics, which is different from the ways in which you learn a foreign language. And they each have their own methodology. But at the heart of the reality is that the pursuit of truth in each of the fields is rooted in a belief that ultimately, fundamentally, truth is one, because it all proceeds from God. And therefore, because of this unity, there has to be a sense of integrating the various fields. And part of the problem, I think, in public education is that the unifying principle is absent. And that unifying principle is theology. Now, I wonder sometimes if even Catholic parents understand this, that the theology department at a high school, at a university, is that integrating principle of all of the fields. And therefore, at the heart of Catholic education, there must be that reality that human persons are created not simply for this world, but for the next as well. And that is why I say that Catholic education is absolutely unique. So often I hear parents say, well, of course our parochial school is right next to a school that really is good. And I will say, well, what do you mean by good? And I will be honest with you, although I love coming into a well-ordered and well-maintained building, I don't care how many bells and whistles a building has. It will never provide what a Catholic education can provide, because it is absolutely unique. And the Church is not in the business of educating simply to provide an alternative or to enter into a competition. It is because we can offer something that can be offered no place else. And my firm belief is it is the only form of education that really educates the whole person. A second element of Catholic education is the fact that it takes place in an atmosphere that honors a particular moral perspective, that touches upon the dignity of the human person, upon what is needed to protect and enhance that dignity. How do we live it out? And how do we relate to others within that moral perspective?